And then I find that little cantilever spot. I'm like, okay, so I go get my infrared. I shoot it, and it was like the floor temp underneath the headboard of their bed. The floor surface temp at the base of the wall, 9 degrees.
Bingo.
I'm like, oh, found where it froze. All right, the countdown has ended, Andy. We are back on the air. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Make Trades Great Again podcast. Andy.
Yep.
Full swing on winter here. All kinds of crazy things happening out there in the real world. Isn't it nuts?
It is nuts. You sent me a video, or I don't know what it was. Maybe it was video picture the other night. You're like, oh, it's just like 18 below zero or something like that. I backed out of my garage or my shop yesterday, headed to a service call, and I think I sent you a little video. My grass is like damn near green.
Oh,
like here we are, Western Montana. I got no snow, none. Right. I don't know that you believed me that I didn't have snow until I like drove past this like little tiny like skiff of snow from like a month ago.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were exaggerating a little bit. You know what I mean? But you have no snow. None. It's nuts.
Yeah.
We are so frozen and just locked in to a winter here. For it seems like the first time in a couple of years around here. I mean, we always have winter, but it's not been as extreme and normal, or what would be kind of a normal thing for us here in Minnesota. So it's pretty wild.
I literally last Saturday, Sunday weather was gorgeous, right? It was just like super nice.
Okay.
And I was like, we were doing some stuff around the house and picking up some stuff. And I was out cleaning up trash in the ditch, out in front of the house. There's not a lot. We don't get a lot of trash out there, but there was some paper out there from the garbage can or something. And I'm out there picking up the garbage and, putting it away. And I'm like, I should go get the lawnmower out. And, how cool would it be to mow the lawn on like the 10th of January, right? Like I see Nate, like Built by Nate, and I'm like, that dude could mow his lawn right now, right?
Yeah, Florida.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
I think he's in Jacksonville.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think they're dormant right at the moment. But, my lawn is like, I don't know. The other day it was 54 degrees here.
You don't think it's actually growing?
Could not. I mean, not like active. I mean, but it's not as short as it was when I quit mowing it. Right. I mean, it's grown since I last mowed it. But the other day, literally, I told Cheryl, I said, just think how screwed we will be if the trees decide that it's time to grow.
Oh, yeah.
And they pull the sap from the roots up into the leaves, up into the branches, and then it freezes. And they're all dead. Because, and it was that warm. To where you're like, oh, the next couple of days, we're going to start seeing the green buds.
That's crazy.
And now it's, it was 3 degrees out this morning, but.
Well, it's been below zero for a few days here and not forecast to warm up for another handful of days, I think, but above zero for a few more days. I've got customers that have, so we don't typically ever see like frozen pipes and stuff like that unless stuff was installed improperly around here, unless you lose heat. But like we've never been allowed to put water lines in outside walls or anything like that. What we do see, and I just saw yesterday, spent a few hours trying to diagnose, and it's often not immediately, it doesn't present itself like as obvious immediately. I have a baseboard, multi-zone house, using baseboard and in-floor heat. The whole house is hot water. I installed a Vitadens 100 in it a few months ago this fall with a small buffer tank, the Zilmit, the 7-gallon, and there's like 8 zones in this place. It's freaking a lot. But anyway, it's not even that big. I mean, it's probably like a 3,000 square foot house. But anyway,
could have done it with 3. Bedrooms, living room, basement.
Right. But I didn't install it a long time. It was like 2002, 2004. So kind of typical of that era, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Warm floor era.
Yeah. I'm thankful the house exists and that they hired me to replace their boiler, replace a triangle tube that was just like, I was surprised was even still like powered up. But anyway, get a call the other day and we had just had our first night of like 25 below, 30 below air temp. And so I go there yesterday and because she calls or she texts me and says, hey, the house is like 55 degrees on the main level. And I'm like, oh boy. That ain't good. And this is a boiler that I had just, like I said, in the fall, but I had been doing no concerns leading up to it. So it's like, well, I mean, I guess there could be air in the line. It's baseboard. It's pretty typical. If something's keeping it from heating, it's probably that, right?
Yeah.
And so I go over there and I'm like, not assuming I know anything about it, but I'm going to try for air at first. And I get there, pumps running, zone valves are fine. Everything's great. All the zones except for one of them are heating. And the one of them is the main level baseboard. 2-story house, full basement walkout. So what do? I have a fill valve on the system, by the way. So I was like, well, maybe it's not air. I mean, there is a fill valve. You know what I mean? Maybe that's not functioning right. Maybe I've got it turned off. I look, it's not off. Pressure's fine in the system, whatever.
Right.
I get my hoses. I'm going to force some water through the zone. I got no water going through that zone. I'm like, damn it. So I got a frozen pipe, 3/4 inch. It's like PEX looped into copper fin tube, right? So below the floor, it's 3/4 Uponor.
Yeah.
Above the floor, transition just below the floor to copper and then back to PEX underneath. You get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. Not using a thaw machine on it.
No, I'm not able to thaw it.
No.
I got to find the ice plug, which is finished basement, so it ain't going to happen unless I can open up a piece of baseboard and just see that it's not,
right?
That it's frozen. But
that is 28 degrees right there.
Yeah, and I have my infrared out. I'm looking. I can't find anything. And then I find this one piece of baseboard tucked behind the master, primary bedroom bed. Bed's up against the wall. There's a piece of baseboard on the floor behind it, and it's a cantilever over the backyard, like 2 feet. Yep. You can't see that in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm looking. I'm trying to figure out, like, is there somewhere that we've got a cantilever somewhere?
Yeah.
And I was concerned about this. There's a wood burner fireplace, stone mason fireplace.
They've been
in
running
the living room. Yeah, but in the living room, I thought, well, okay, there's baseboard on either side of it. They had to go underneath it in the truss. It's scissor trusses. And I thought, well, that's where it's probably froze next to that concrete, right? Air's not sealing. It's facing, west, it's getting not, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like there's all the recipes for this thing to like probably freeze the pipe to freeze right there.
Yep.
But I can't get to it because it's on, fully finished sheetrock basement. And, but also I'm shooting the pipe right there and it's like ambient temperature. I'm like, that's probably not it. But certainly could be.
Yeah.
And then I find that little cantilever spot. I'm like, okay, so I go get my infrared. I shoot it, and I was like, the floor temp underneath the headboard of their bed, the floor surface temp at the base of the wall, 9 degrees.
Bingo!
I'm like, oh, found where it froze. Now it's a matter of whether or not you want to cut open the outside of your house,
right?
Or you're not gonna the flooring was like hardwood, not engineered, snap it apart kind of stuff, like real hardwood nailed down.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, we ain't tearing because if it were carpet, I actually would have made the suggestion, let's move the bed, pull the carpet back, cut a floor open, and let's fix this quick.
Absolutely.
We could patch it before the end of the day. I don't have a carpet stretcher, but I can call somebody that does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You want to know a trick to that? If you ever find one of those that you're like, oh, I need to do it right here, go get a floor grill. Just a regular HVAC floor grill, right? Slit the carpet out right around that. That'll fit. Cut the floorboard out. Leave the grill right there. Especially it's under the bed, and then it'll allow air in and out of that. And it's an easy way to just be, most people would look at it and be like, "What the heck?"
Yeah.
Right. And most people would be,
but it serves a purpose in that case, right?
But a lot of people would look at it, so long as it wasn't like white carpet with a brown grill on it, But a lot of people would probably never recognize that. Why is that floor grill there? Because you see it in so many houses with forced air.
Yeah.
But that's an easy way to, you can get a 4x12 and put it.
Well, right now the pipe is still frozen, by the way.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people listening to this are going to think that that's crazy that I left it that way. But here's the deal. I'm either going to damage the house pulling it apart in the sub-freezing, sub-zero temperatures right now. I'm going to do more damage than it's worth the fix, either just waiting for it to warm up,
right,
or waiting for it to burst and then cause damage later. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm erring on the let's let it be. Because I can't prove that it's right there. First of all,
right.
I can't prove.
It sounds like very well be there, but it could very well not be there.
Yeah, I could shake the magic 8-ball, and it's going to say all signs point to yes.
Yeah.
But there's probably people listening that have no idea they're too young to know what a magic 8-ball is. But
gotta go to Spencer's.
It's not a drug either, by the way.
That's...
So I left it.
Yeah.
And I explained very clearly to the homeowners, I'm like, look, here is the situation. Like, I don't want to use definitive terminology. It sounds like I know exactly what is happening, and this is exactly the case.
Yeah.
If I cut a hole in your house, start tearing down like fascia and soffit outside and cutting sheeting and then pulling back insulation to find that it wasn't right there, you're going to be very upset with me. Okay. It could be anywhere in this house, because when you have this happen, typically, in my experience, it's a vertical pipe running along the rim joist of a house. It's typically where it's popping up and down through the floors,
correct,
or running horizontal. And the reason I say that is because that's where we have those air leaks and stuff like that that can be just exactly positioned perfectly. And then I made the comment to the customer, because they had just bought this house this summer, and I said, I'm going to bet that this is not the first time this has ever happened. And so the lady calls and knew the owner, knew the people they bought it from. They call them. They're like, oh, that's actually happened to us, but it was like a long time ago. And I'm like, yeah, a long time ago when it was last this cold.
And I'll bet you this. This is my suspicion. Just hearing your description of outdoor environment, indoor conditions, and new homeowner. The root cause, is it's cold as F outside.
And I think I know what you're saying.
And the second cause is someone thought that it was a really good idea to light a fire in your wood-burning fireplace because it's going to keep the house warm. Guess what? Wrong. It is so counterproductive. And every time I come across somebody that's got a wood-burning stove in their house, right?
Yep.
They're like, oh, we're burning wood because, the fuel bills, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, let's just pedal the brakes here, because you lit that fire in that open hearth, and the sheer volume of air that is required to get that to draft and go up the chimney
has to come from somewhere.
Staggering.
Yeah.
And guess what? I know that when you came and let me in the front door, you had to move the towels from in front of the front door and the row of towels in front of the garage door and in front of the sliding glass door and in front of the patio door, right? That are all covered in frost. Why are they there? Because they're sucking air through the gaskets.
Yeah.
Well, you blocked all those up. Well, where does the air come from? Well, it came from the outlet that's hanging out of the bottom of the soffit in the cantilever, because you wanted Christmas lights in the backyard. Right?
Yeah, none of this. It sounds very accusatory, but that's what happens.
That's what happened.
Well, you know why it happened too.
Yeah.
The thermostat that controls this zone is 15 feet directly opposite, looking at the fireplace. 15 feet away. Just looking, they're looking at each other.
Right. And it's just like, I'm 88 degrees in here.
It's right now, I'm not going to, I briefly touched on that, but I had to tell her, so I didn't get into it necessarily as extent, like
Are they still burning the fireplace?
Well, I told them they have to.
Yeah.
They got no heat.
No, go get
they
some
got no
space
heat
heaters.
On their main level.
Go get space heaters. Electric space heaters.
It's not gonna. I have the thermostat cranked to 85 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's running the pump against an ice block.
Yeah.
And it's fine because the ECM pump is not gonna hurt.
Well, and then you got 8 zones. I mean, other stuff's open.
Yeah. It's seriously not gonna hurt. Even if everything's shut and that pump is running, it's gonna be fine.
They'd be better off packing that fireplace chimney full of insulation and putting a nice piece of glass in front of it, and getting some electric space heaters and getting their house up to temperature, and that ice block would likely thaw itself.
It will
as soon
once
as
it
you
heats up.
quit the draw on the negative, negative space.
I think we're gonna need it to get My theory is I think we're just going to wait till it gets a little above 0 or something. But you're right. You're not none of what you're saying. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah. I hate a wood burning fireplace.
I did tell them, like, look, you can't run this when it's this cold. And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, that's another story for another day.
Yeah.
Right now, let her buck. I don't give a crap.
Yeah, because it's already froze.
Yeah.
Too late.
We did put, and there's a basement bedroom directly below this. It is not cantilevered, obviously, because the upstairs, that's how cantilevers work. So we put space heater in the directly below it.
Right. There's heat in the basement, hot water baseboard in the basement.
There's in-floor in the concrete slab.
Got it.
But we put a plug-in little ceramic heater in there, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And just turn it on high. I said, you just need to let this thing buck. Nobody lives in that basement bedroom.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like whatever it gets to, it gets to.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost you regardless. Let's hope this pipe doesn't burst, and let's hope we just heat it out of our problem.
Hopefully it's in the way.
Right. And then I said, do not close these doors. I said, you got to keep all your bedroom doors open.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is this door shut? When she told me, like, over here's the bedroom, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, wait a minute, why is your door shut? Well, it's cold in there. Like, well, it's cold in there because you don't have heat and you're just isolated from the rest of your house. You need to,
it's frozen out too.
At the very worst, you're making it worse. Or at the very best, you're making it worse.
Yeah.
And so anyway, space heater in there too.
Yeah.
I explained to her, like, look, I can't prevent this from freezing any further or bursting. I said, that's the next step. I said, either we get lucky and it thaws as it warms up outside, and likely not until it does warm up outside some, or it bursts. We don't obviously want it to burst, but I'm not going to start tearing apart your house like I was getting into before.
Right.
I'm not going to tear holes in your house because I don't even know that that's where it is, FYI.
Yeah.
I have a sneaky suspicion that's where it is, based off experience. But either way, so that was that. And then we've got a few more calls. I've got 3 or 4 calls in the last 2 days, I think. 4 calls. I've literally just drove to houses to break ice off of vents coming out of the sidewall. I had to climb on a roof yesterday, which I do not. Very, very like a 412 maybe pitch on this like a detached townhome kind of deal built within the last 15 years. So everybody knows what that looks like. Climbed up that. Luckily, it was like an east facing roof, so it really doesn't have any snow sitting on it or anything. Boiler vents totally frozen shut. Yeah. That was interesting. I wondered how it got like actually frozen shut.
Yeah.
The sidewall stuff is more common. The stuff through the roof, I don't usually see that, but it's just so cold that's going to happen. It's not.
Well, was it like concentric vent or 2-pipe?
2-pipe. It was a Navien combi that somebody else installed.
I think that, to be honest, that's one of the reasons why I'm such a proponent of a concentric vent setup.
I don't like concentric
because it keeps that roof termination thawed out. You almost never see a vertical concentric vent kit froze up.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah.
I also don't often see vertical venting on boilers. I have seen it more often with these Viessmanns though, because I think their fan speeds are so low on low fire, because they'll run like when you and I install them, it's crazy how low they modulate and just idle for hours and hours, days and days. Right.
The number of boilers that I've walked in to do service and they're at 11%, and you're like, "What are you doing?" Click on it and it's like target 141 degrees, actual 138.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
Because you are literally idling at your absolute minimum firing rate, 1 or 2 degrees under set point. It's perfect.
I love it.
And if I wish I could look like current, it would be really cool, totally irrelevant, but it would be cool to be able to walk in and see that it's at 11% and it's this is the duration of its current run cycle. Like, how many minutes have you been running? 38. 4, whatever. Yeah, I mean, it'd just be cool to see.
Well, I love. Speaking of that, I'm so fixated on not fixated. I'm so in tune and excited about runtime averages that we can see in that app. Right?
Oh, it's probably one of my favorite.
I open it up. I look at it like social media. I'm like, let's look at this boiler.
Yeah.
I wonder how their boiler's running right now. It's 25 below or something. I'm like,
I did this
look
morning.
at it. I love that. And seeing the average runtime right there in the, like, that's so cool. You and I talk about that all the time in person.
Yeah. It was 5:30 this morning when my alarm went off, getting ready to go to the gym, got up. It was like, we're going to leave the house at 6, I don't know. We usually leave 6:45 or something like that. So I was like, give myself an hour sitting there. I'm like, well, before I get on Instagram or whatever, I'm going to look at my Residio app because I've got like 15 customers with thermostats. Click through each customer. Oh, every room's at set point. Nice.
Yeah.
Jump over to the Viessmann app. Check everybody's connected. No faults. All right. Yeah.
I have like 6 boilers that are offline right now.
I have too many. And I think
do you call people about that?
I need to. I really do, because I think a couple of them may have sold. And I don't know that.
You'd like to know.
Yeah. I mean, I'd love to get the new customer's business. I mean, let's be real.
Yeah, of course. And you want to service the product. It probably has your name on it or something like that.
I do like that it has the ones that have, what do they call it? The maintenance light. I do look at that regularly, and try and get a hold of those customers and just be like, hey, your boiler's due for maintenance. We haven't seen you. Let us know if you want to, want us to come up and do it. And almost all of them are like, oh, geez, I didn't even realize it's been 18 months since you've been here.
Yeah, most of my customers will respond that way too. I do have one that's like totally ghosted me, and I know he lives there.
Yeah,
I don't know what the deal is. I can't convince him that it's important that we maintain this thing, but whatever.
He'll find out when it hits year 2 and it's out on an F380 fault. And it's inconvenient.
I agree. No, it's just been that kind of stuff lately. It's good for business, obviously. I'm not complaining about the cold as much as I love to hate it and hate to love it. You know what I mean? Like it's a necessary thing. Yeah. And for how many years have you, and I mean, you and I talk all the time. We're not recording every conversation for everybody to listen to, but like how many times have I brought up over the last few years, like, man, I needed to get cold this year. Because it hadn't really the last couple winters. Yeah. When I say cold, I'm talking about this kind of weather.
Yeah.
And in typical Midwestern fashion, I'm going to complain when it's not cold, and then I'm going to complain when it is cold. So just get over it. That's what it doesn't have to make sense to you. Yeah. It makes sense to us, however. I don't know. That's kind of what we've been up to.
Yeah.
We got plenty of winter left. You do too. Somehow you're probably going to end up either finishing this whole winter season with like no winter, or it's going to hit you guys pretty hard right at the end. Yeah. I hope you guys get a lot of snow, because if you don't, you're going to be really hosed for fire season.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, in the valley, we don't have snow, right? It's really odd. Mountains, like if you look in and around Missoula, it's pretty sparse up there. I mean, where normally it would be like, mountains, just white, everything's covered in snow. And I haven't personally, and this is just us being too dang busy to go out and enjoy where we live, but I have not been in high country to see what's there, right? I saw something the other day that showed the snowpack was at like 110% or something like that. So like the mountains still may have their snow, and that's where we need it, because we need that. I mean, in the mountainous areas, we rely on that snowpack as a time delay moisture release. Mm-hmm. And if we don't have that, then everything down below that it just dries up, because the moisture is gone in April instead of July.
Yeah.
So
we were out ice fishing a couple of weeks ago, Heather and I. We need to go back up. It's too cold now. It's just not even fun.
But you got really good ice.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No,
we haven't had it. There's a couple of the high mountain lakes that have it, but
there's 2 feet plus just in the local lakes around me.
Yeah.
They're driving everything out on the ice, plow trucks, whatever, it doesn't matter. Yeah. I mean, everybody's big wheelhouses, the big permanent wheelhouses, like they've been out for weeks, which is, I mean, usually you don't see them till after Christmas, but I think right around Christmas you start seeing wheelhouses going out a little bit north of here. So
right.
Ice. We were out 2 weeks ago, and there was like 18 inches, like 10 minutes from my house. So that's central Minnesota.
Yeah.
You imagine what there is up north, probably 3 feet.
Sure.
But yeah, no, wintertime. We're ready for more. I'm ready for more. In fact, I probably should get to work.
Go to work.
We have got some messages in quick or lately. We'll be answering those. We did get a message about based on the triangle tube talk that we've had going on. Somebody asking about getting parts and stuff like that. Our tech support, like, look, we're just trying to share what we know about the triangle tube situation. We are not a resource for parts or recommendations.
Go online. That's best case scenario. If your local contractor doesn't have parts, get online.
Yeah, you might seriously be looking at full replacement if you know what I mean. Like,
and I'll say this too, because we do have a handful of homeowners that are kind of do a lot of DIY stuff.
Yeah,
if you own a triangle tube boiler at this point, I would be very reluctant to try doing DIY repairs on that unit right now.
I would say that about every boiler.
Do not have, I do as well, but you do not have a plan B in place if something goes not according to plan.
No, not unless you can buy a new boiler and pull parts off it or something like that.
Yep. But there are some online resources that do have parts available or limited supply. I mean, essentially, it's whatever was in shipment at the time
or already on a shelf.
Yep. And so, so it's I have to believe that when they closed the doors, they probably made an agreement with whoever their big local buyer or purchaser was that was in the area and was like, here you go. So there may be a wholesale house over on the East Coast that's going to have parts for a little while. I just don't know who it is. So
no,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck, and send us the messages too. I'm not trying to discourage anybody from sending us those messages. We'll answer some back in a future episode here. We've got a couple recently, and we look forward to it. Like we've said a million times in the past, we're thankful as well. We love your feedback. We love ideas, questions, whatever you got to share with us. Do not hesitate to use that link in the notes below your podcast app here, and you can just text us.
Yep.
All right, dude.
See ya.
You good? See ya.
Yep. I'm out.